Greetings YouTubians and welcome back to Koza Channel. I'm your host Koza, and this is not an episode. Well, it is, but it's not going to be me playing. I am going to be playing off to the left here and to the right, either way. I'll have some gameplay from both Borderlands 2, the pre-sequel, and The Evil Within. So if you don't want to see any spoilers, which there won't be very many, don't look those directions. But I'll go into those games in just a moment here. But I wanted to kind of update you guys. I am going to be taking this week off, so there won't be any videos coming out this week, except maybe a Loot Crate one when I actually get it, which I haven't received it yet anyway. So, what are you gonna do? But no, it was my birthday last weekend, so I was crazy busy and doing stuff, and I wasn't able to do any recordings, nor did I want to. I want to take a little bit of break. I noticed some of my videos are kind of lacking energy, so I wanted to kind of, cool off, get back to it, so I can make sure to, really put out some good stuff for you guys. I've kind of been doing some research and thinking on the channel and things like that, so I can really kind of nail down what I want this channel to be about. And thank you all for subscribing so far. I know there's not very many of you right now. I think we're almost at 15. We just hit 14 the other day subscribers, and it's been slow, and that's partially my fault, and that's okay. I'm glad to be putting out these videos. They're a lot of fun. I would love to see some more growth, but that's okay if we're not seeing it yet. I'm still very happy doing this, and I'm gonna keep doing it even if I don't see growth, because this is a lot of fun. So yeah, that's pretty much everything there. I will be getting some new artwork. I'm in talks with an artist right now to get some new artwork up for the channel, for my icon, for things like that, so everything's gonna look a little bit prettier from my paint style art. Oh, it's so bad. I know. I'm working on it. But yeah, so things are going to start looking a little prettier. We're going to start moving a little bit more into indie games and less mainstream ones. I mean, some mainstream ones, of course. But I'm going to be moving more towards the indie games. Things like, Fist of Awesome, which is a video series that should be coming out very, very soon. Hopefully starting next week I'll have something out. Things like the Pokemon series, which is done just ridiculously amazing. You guys have been watching it like crazy, so I'm gonna have to look for some more games like that. And if you know of any, please let me know down in the comments, on my website, things like that. Yeah, so that's all for the channel. For the most part, we will be back next week. I'll be on the videos and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so on to a quick little rundown of 2 games that have come out. I'm not actually going to be playing them on the channel. One of them was actually a birthday gift, which was so cool. You know who you are. Yeah, so Borderlands should be over that direction. Borderlands 2, the pre-sequel, was a great game. I'm still playing it. I haven't beaten it yet. I haven't even got to max level. Heck, I haven't even got to level 20. It's much longer, in my opinion. It feels like the leveling has been kind of drawn out a little bit, maybe a little too much, but it's still really good. There's a lot of quests to do, and there's never really, I'm never really grinding. I'm always doing things, so that's really good. It's when you stop having quests and you grind, that's when it starts getting boring. There's always quests, there's always something you're doing, lots of jokes, things like that, so it hasn't gotten boring yet, which is good. Even though I haven't been progressing in levels very quickly, I probably maybe like in level an hour if I'm really pushing it. And that's kind of a stretch too. It started to speed up a little bit at the end of what I was playing, but a lot of really neat weapons. It's a lot of the same. If you liked Borderlands 2, you're gonna like the pre-sequel. It's pretty much the same game. They've got some new features in there. They've got the ground slams, the butt slams as they call them, which are a lot of fun. I don't use them very much, honestly. But they are a lot of fun, and they're really neat mechanic. And if you time it right, you can actually you can continuously just bounce, which is a lot of fun. And the whole oxygen thing is a really neat mechanic. It makes you really play strategically. If you're running low on oxygen, you can't use the double jump very much, and you've got to make sure that you're near a building and things like that. Pretty much every single enemy almost always drops air canisters, so you're never really at a lack unless you're playing really silly. If you're playing really silly, if you're playing at a long range, then you might be at a little bit of a disadvantage. And you have to play a little bit more careful. But if you're kind of up close and medium range, things like that, you're probably going to be fine, and you won't really notice it that much. And if you do get below half, he kind of gives you a little warning. But have fair. Go find breathable atmosphere or something. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, generally a really good game. I would definitely recommend it if you want more of Borderlands 2. If you're bored of Borderlands 2, you're tired of it, you want to move on to something else, don't buy it. At least not yet. That's definitely my recommendation. You're not gonna be happy with your purchase because it really is a lot of the same. So that's kind of up to the user in that respect of what they want and what they're looking for, and what they're bored of. So make your own decisions. Now on to the Evil Within. I've played much less of this game because man, it is hard. I saw some original comments. I'm playing it on normal mode. I am not crazy enough to play it on anything else. And also, all that's unlocked right now is normal. You gotta unlock the hard modes, like per typical for horror games. But anyway, playing it on normal mode, and man, it is tough. I've had to play multiple levels, multiple times, because they will kick your butt all over the place. The zombies do die, which is something that's very important to note. They're not Dead Space. They do die, and they do stay dead without having to burn them, which is very important. I may be revealing too much, so spoilers. Yeah, there's a couple really neat weapons. You don't get one of the cooler weapons until 3rd or 4th chapter, I think it is. I forget. But you don't get it for a little while in, and they really kick you in the shins for a while at the beginning, really focusing on the stealth. It's definitely a stealth-focused game, and if you're not using your stealth, you're playing the game wrong. Unless you're on easy. I don't know about easy. Maybe that's a different story. But if you're on normal and you're not playing to stealth, you're definitely not gonna have a good time. So if you don't like stealth games, definitely not a good recommendation for you. But if you do, and you like horror games, I would recommend it. The horror is so far. It's pretty subtle. It's not a lot in your face. There is some at the beginning in your face, and I haven't gotten later on. I know there's some good jump scares later on, for sure. But if you like your jump scares, those are definitely in there. And there's a lot of subtle horror early, in at least what I've played so far. There's not too much jumping out at you, but there's a lot of things going on, things around you. That are kind of scary, and you don't know what's going on, and things like that. So yeah, definitely both games, Borderlands and The Evil Within, great games, and I would recommend them to people who are kind of on the fence. Except for the few caveats, I would definitely recommend them to any player. They're a lot of fun, and they're definitely worth the money. I don't know about any expansions yet. There's a season pass for this pre-sequel. Don't know if I'm gonna buy that yet because I haven't gotten through all of it. But so far, definitely a happy purchase. So that's all for today. Sorry I won't be playing those. I wanted to kind of save my time for some more indie games. But I may start doing some AAA kind of breakdowns and going through them like that as I play them, instead of doing a full-length series on them. But regardless of that, thank you for tuning in, and definitely check out the channel, check out my Twitch. Every couple weekends I'll be doing Hearthstone, Dark Souls, things like that. Couple of games that I've been playing on the stream, and I may add some more. Destiny was another one of them. And also check out my website, kozachannel.com. There will be information there as well. If you're an employer, check me out there too. I've got my portfolio up, and for anybody who's just interested in the channel, there's a section dedicated to it. You can submit your ideas. You can even submit your own game files to me, and I'll pick those up and check them out. If there's any that I can play, you know, I'll definitely consider putting those on the channel, and I'll give you a little mention or something. You know, if there's anything special, make sure you leave it in the comments. And yeah, if you have any ideas and you don't want to go to the channel, just leave me a comment down below. And whether or not you do, if you like what you see so far, subscribe, and I will keep doing my best to keep putting it out there. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next episode.